Like they were wilding out in that house, and him and his homies were doing some shit that probably got covered up somehow.
People are saying Drake might have paid hush money to cover up shocking incidents at his old Hidden Hills compound. That's the rumor making waves online, and it's raised a serious question. Could one of the most successful artists in modern music be fighting to keep disturbing secrets from ever surfacing? Let's explore what's fueling these accusations. Then we'll get into the lavish parties, alleged payoffs, and the legal moves that may or may not support such a theory. For months, hip-hop circles have been buzzing with talk that Drake's partying in Calabasas went way beyond typical celebrity indulgence. An influential interviewer, someone often dubbed the Feds for how thoroughly he digs into celebrities' personal lives, hinted that Drake and his friends might have gotten involved in questionable encounters at his Hidden Hills YOLO estate. The claim? Certain individuals who felt wronged, or their families, were allegedly paid off to stay silent, preventing any formal complaints from hitting the courts or social media. You might be asking, why haven't we heard a single legal claim? That's exactly what has everyone talking. In almost every other celebrity scandal, if there's even a hint of wrongdoing, public accusations follow. But for Drake, it's been total radio silence, except for fans on social platforms who keep pointing out strange timelines, questionable friendships, and the rare personal detail that manages to slip through. Amid these swirling rumors came a diss track called Not Like Us. The lyrics alluded to Drake as a PDF, a censored way of calling someone predatory toward minors. It was an explosive accusation, so much so that Drake immediately lawyered up. In a rare move, he filed a defamation lawsuit, going straight at the record label that distributed the track. Critics wondered, if Drake felt these were truly baseless claims, why bother drawing more attention to them with a massive legal battle? Some argue that Drake had no choice. In today's media landscape, once a rumor like that enters the mainstream, it can stain a reputation forever. Others argue that a lawsuit puts all parties under the microscope. If Drake has skeletons in his closet, the legal process might drag them into the light. Still, the bold move to sue suggests he believes no one can prove the allegations are more than ugly gossip.
Some things could happen around that if certain people really started to make a lot of noise.
The hush money story would probably vanish if there weren't already public red flags. Drake has long been criticized for befriending or texting much younger celebrities. One case that raised eyebrows was Millie Bobby Brown, who once spoke warmly of Drake offering her advice on dating. She was just a young teen at the time. Another instance involved Drake sharing dinner with a model who had reportedly just turned 18, raising questions about when exactly he started showing interest. While none of these stories remotely prove illegal conduct, they add fuel to the idea that Drake enjoys the company of people far younger than he is. In rap music, context can be everything. Drake's discography includes tracks like Teenage Fever. Though the lyrics aren't explicit about any wrongdoing, the title alone sparks curiosity about his personal life. To be fair, many artists play with provocative themes, and Drake's moody storytelling often hinges on heartbreak or innocence lost. But it's hard to ignore how often fans connect the dots between these themes and the real-life rumors swirling around him. Long before these controversies took center stage, Drake bought a property in the gated community of Hidden Hills. He didn't just snag a single mansion. Over time, he picked up neighboring houses, turning the place into a multi-home estate covering multiple acres. Dubbed the YOLO estate, the compound boasted pools, waterfalls, a grotto with a bar, secret rooms, and enough space to host large-scale gatherings. Luxury cars, private parties, and late-night antics were a given. Locals and insiders began whispering about a lock-and-key approach to partying, with unspoken rules that nothing leaves the house. At one point, Drake even sold hoodies labeled Hidden Hills, with the phrase, "Isn't everybody hiding something?" on the back. It seemed like a playful fashion statement, until the hush money rumors put a sinister spin on the message.
He's like, ain't no reason to even get a lawyer if your homie told.
The interviewer, known for prying into artists' backgrounds, labeled by some as the Feds, claimed on camera that Drake's team paid off certain individuals to ensure that no damaging stories would ever leak. While he offered no documentation to prove it, his track record for uncovering controversial details has made fans take notice. Here's the twist. It's exactly this type of talk that Drake seems desperate to shut down via his defamation lawsuit. He claims the suggestions of predatory behavior are fabricated, and that the record label behind Not Like Us intentionally stirred the pot to harm his reputation. But from a legal perspective, winning a defamation case requires Drake to show the statements are provably false. If the label can demonstrate even a hint of truth behind these allegations, the lawsuit could backfire spectacularly. When there's smoke, you often see fire, so why has no one publicly accused Drake or taken him to court? One theory is that if hush money did change hands, it's tied to ironclad non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. Anyone tempted to speak out would face ruinous legal penalties or an immediate counter-lawsuit. Alternatively, it could be that there's simply no truth to any of it, and Drake's personal life has been conflated with pure speculation. Either way, the absence of direct accusations makes this case very different from other celebrity scandals. Think of R. Kelly, Diddy, or Chris Brown. Eventually, formal claims or disturbing evidence showed up in tabloids or court filings. That hasn't happened with Drake, despite years of rumors. Does that mean he's clean, or is it proof his legal machine is more efficient than others? People who follow hip-hop podcasts might recall Joe Budden's harsh critique of Drake's latest album. Budden told him straight up to start hanging out with people his own age, referring to Drake's lyrical references to 21-year-olds and younger crowds. While many fans shrugged, Drake seemed furious, firing off an unusually personal rant about Budden's failures in music. Why did that mild comment, one that echoed what fans had said, set him off? It's possible Drake just doesn't like being told he's immature. But in the context of these hush money rumors, some wonder if the topic of younger companions touches a nerve Drake wants left alone. We can't ignore that Drake is not just a musician, but a global brand, with major endorsements and a public image that transcends hip-hop. Even a minor scandal could jeopardize multi-million-dollar partnerships in fashion, sports, and beyond. A serious accusation of predatory behavior? That could annihilate years of brand building overnight. From this angle, the lawsuit is a preemptive strike. Force the courts to declare that any talk of Drake being predatory is slander, thereby fortifying his standing and warning anyone else with similar accusations to stay silent or face massive legal retaliation. If that's his strategy, it underscores how dangerous these rumors really are to someone at his level. The hush money rumor focuses on Drake's Calabasas era, which spanned from around 2015 to 2022, ending when he sold the Hidden Hills estate. During this same window, fans noted multiple instances of Drake photographed or interacting with much younger entertainers. There were also occasional signs of outlandish parties. Statues in bikinis, mechanical bulls, hidden rooms in the main house. It's all circumstantial, but people online like to connect dots. Drake living in a veritable playland for adults, raising eyebrows by associating with people half his age, releasing songs about heartbreak tinged with youthful nostalgia. Throw in an unproven hush money claim, and it's no wonder some folks find the narrative compelling, even if there's no concrete evidence. Let's consider the possibility that Drake is entirely innocent of these rumors. He might simply enjoy a lavish lifestyle and a wide social circle that spans from established moguls to up-and-coming artists, some of whom are obviously going to be younger. The PDF insinuation might just be a malicious attempt to discredit him. After all, rap battles often hit below the belt, using shock value for impact. If Drake knows he's squeaky clean, taking this to court makes sense. He'd want an official ruling to silence future allegations and secure his legacy. He's achieved too much to let internet chatter chip away at his image. Defamation lawsuits are expensive, drawn out, and risky. Filing one essentially dares the other side to produce any evidence that supports their claims. If even minor proof emerges, the plaintiff can end up looking worse. So why take that gamble? Possibly because Drake believes no real evidence exists, or is confident his team has sealed off every potential leak. Additionally, if he wins, it sets a precedent. Any future diss track or journalist hinting he's a predator could be met with immediate legal force, making it far riskier to repeat the rumors. Some say that's Drake's true endgame, not financial compensation. He wants a giant case closed stamp on his name. Win or lose, the legal fight is a massive statement. It shows that Drake's empire is ready to protect its figurehead at all costs. If he emerges victorious, you may never hear this rumor in the mainstream again. But if the lawsuit somehow goes south, the speculation could roar back louder than before, potentially pushing real accusers, if they exist, to come forward. There's also a financial angle. Drake's older hits still dominate streaming platforms. He's valued at hundreds of millions, if not more. Any allegations linking him to exploitative behavior could shrink streaming numbers, hamper tours, and repel sponsors. A single controversy at this scale might cost him far more than he'd ever gain back, so it's logical he'd fight tooth and nail to keep his brand spotless. Despite all this chatter, one fact remains. No direct evidence has been made public. No official victims. No leaked footage. Nothing. Either the hush money was ironclad, or there's genuinely no story to tell. Meanwhile, the interviewer who sparked the whole conversation insists his sources are credible, but refuses to name them. Drake, for his part, hasn't publicly addressed hush money claims, focusing on fighting the PDF label in court instead. Could the interviewer be playing up rumors for clicks? That's entirely possible, especially in a media environment that thrives on the slightest whiff of scandal. Conversely, might he be pointing to something bigger? Something we'd only learn about if it goes through the legal system? That also can't be ruled out. As of now, everything hinges on Drake's lawsuit. If it's dismissed or settled quietly, the public may never learn the full story. If it goes to trial, both sides will air their evidence, and we'll see whether anything truly damning emerges. Until then, fans and critics alike are stuck in a holding pattern, speculating on whether Drake is under false attack or masterfully burying the truth. Yet the conversation about his social circle and his interest in much younger acquaintances isn't going away. The more people dig, the more suspicious some of these timelines appear, especially during the prime years he spent partying in Calabasas. Critics are already saying that even if he's cleared legally, he still comes off as a star who prefers the company of the barely legal. Could it all be hearsay? Absolutely. On the other hand, the bigger the celebrity, the more carefully orchestrated their image often is. Drake's brand rests on being relatable, smooth, and musically gifted. A scandal involving underage or barely of age individuals would shake his fan base to the core. The hush money rumor, if ever proven, would confirm that his team went to extreme lengths to bury a major scandal. But unless someone breaks an NDA or reveals undisputed evidence, we're left with speculation. In the end, you'll have to weigh the stories for yourself. Is Drake being slandered with outlandish allegations by jealous rivals, or is there more beneath the surface that legal firepower keeps hidden? One way or another, the lawsuit against the diss track might reveal the cards he's holding, or keep them forever obscured. Let's hear your take. Is Drake just another victim of wild conspiracy theories, or is the hush money chatter a signal that something sketchy really happened in those Hidden Hills parties? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this breakdown insightful, be sure to like and subscribe. As always, there's more to every celebrity story than meets the eye, especially in the world of rap, where truth and showmanship blur together. Stay tuned.